Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
And there's no substitute for experience in this league, and what it usually leads to, a whole lot of confidence. Andy Dalton is sharp with where to go with the football now. I think he sees reads before they actually even happen. He can sense them now, and he is one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL.
A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
Well, certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Dalton here from the gun. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. On the return, Jackson. The quick feet by Jackson. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
One thing for us to keep in mind and remember, they're coming off of their open week last week. They got to sit home and relax a little bit before the final stretch of the season. They got the lucky draw because every team in the league wants to have that open week later in the year rather than early. They benefited.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Wentz now to throw. He's got Jack Doyle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st down, Wentz. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Wentz. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
2nd down and goal. Wentz looking for Parham in there. He's got him. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Darrell Henderson with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The touchdown giving them the first quarter lead. Remember, they lost a rough game 2 weeks ago. Then they had to sit through the open week, but a good start here.
And just think about everyone around them, everyone around the organization. When you lose headed into that open week, everyone's cringing because you don't have a chance to get on the horse and ride it again for at least 2 weeks. Well, they were able to take that time, use it constructively, and now they're back in form.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And we take you through the starting defense for Jacksonville.
It's easy to go back to the time when Ndamukong Suh entered the NFL, and he was an absolute force right from the beginning. But it's been fun to watch his career progress, and I'm starting to see a little more finesse in his game, although I'm not sure he'd like me to describe it that way. But you see the agility, you see the movement, and, of course, he can bull rush when he needs to get to the quarterback.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Throwing, Dalton, complete, Hunter Henry with a grab. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They run. Devontae Freeman. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
3rd down from the gun. Dalton. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that's going to be intercepted. Malcolm Jenkins, the Pro Bowler.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Freeman. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, and it's 3rd and 4. The Colts on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. Oh, they they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. The 20, 10, 5, and they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. In for the score. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. We talk about it a lot. One of the dangers of the long field goal, you got to kind of hit it low and drive it. That makes it susceptible to a block here. Not only do they block it, they return it.
And how about how well they did on the return, where they didn't create a penalty? Oftentimes in that type of a scrambling situation, someone will clip, someone will block below the waist, right? You name it. In this case, though, that didn't happen. They formed it up, and he took it all the way back for a touchdown.
Lutz with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On second down, Freeman. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
To throw here, Dalton. Gets it off to Freeman. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt.
We got this.
So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On second down, it's Henderson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
We play to win.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He's got this one complete to Perriman. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. – 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On play action, Wentz. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Wentz on 3rd down. This pass complete to Reynolds. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Braxton Miller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. In 2nd quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive. And that's going to be intercepted. Malcolm Jenkins, the Pro Bowler. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Getting set to go again here on offense, Keenan Allen marches back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season.
And time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the 2nd half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Wes Horton. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for Josh Reynolds that time, and that'll make it third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Allen. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
Let's go.
Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. They'll set up the screen to McCoy. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Only a yard on the third down throw, and that leads to a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball to their territory. That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Now a play fake here on first down. Dancing to his left. Now he'll pull it down. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Henderson now on 1st and 10. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On 2nd and 9, Allen, and his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. This defense tried to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
That is caught. It's Perriman. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Allen. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
On the carry, it's Olsen. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. To the air, Allen. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Brashad Perriman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is in a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline, because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Dalton going deep here for Allen. He's got a man, complete. Give him 32 on the play.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now a first down carry here from McCoy. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Throwing on 2nd down. Dalton, he completes it to Henry. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Andy Dalton now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. They'll run it with McCoy. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
They're running it.
Dalton here from the gun. He finds McCoy. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up 4th down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Tucker's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. The throw there finding its way to Boyle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now Allen under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The ball comes out, and I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Dalton now to pass. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
That throw into the arms of Allen. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Andy Dalton. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. This will be Dalton again. That is incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
Here's Dalton. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I really enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for it.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free.
Now the ball comes loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
On the double. Watch Mike, watch Mike. I'm here all day.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Big rip, big rip.
On 2nd and 11 now. Allen. And he'll find Henderson there. It's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 26. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
86 is on the go. 86 is on the go. That's you. That's you. Watch the safety creep.
Now Olsen. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Here we go, D. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
6-6, pull it high.
Check 26.
Staying on the ground with Olsen. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. First carry for the fullback, James Devlin. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. They're all finished in the game up in Minneapolis. And give that one to the Broncos as they wind up winners. Matt Ryan, good game throwing the ball, over 300 passing yards. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Colts coming out now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coach it.
Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Here we go, D.
Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. And he's brought down. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Allen now on the sneak. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. They come out here in the eye. Jackson will keep it, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And that will write a finish to this ball game. They put up their goal at the beginning of the season, and that was to win 7 games, and now they've accomplished that mission.
And congratulations to them for achieving their goal. They have to finish the season strong, but you've got to think that going forward for next year, they're going to jump that number up a little bit higher.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Indy.
Bye.